Today I have the CEO of Mozzafiato, which is an e-commerce platform. And I have the pleasure to be speaking with Amy Parsons, who is right now in Denver. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Amy before we bring her up to share some great knowledge with us, information. Amy left her post as the Executive Vice Chancellor at Colorado State University after 16 years with the academic system to follow a passion for Italian imports. In other words, good quality Italian goods. Now, Mozzafiato is the premier supplier of heritage Italian cosmetic and beauty products from family-owned businesses that have been making their brands for hundreds of years. We're talking about high-end, good quality luxury products. So, Amy, please, you quit your job in academia to follow the entrepreneurial route. Tell us a little bit about your background and what led to all of that.
I did. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's just a pleasure to be with you today and to share these stories. So thank you so much for that. And
You're welcome.
you're right. I was with the university system for 16 years. I'm an attorney. I was a practicing attorney before that. So 20 years of being an attorney and a university executive. And then during COVID, I left that position to try my hand at being an entrepreneur and standing up a brand new company, which is Matsufiato, my first time starting a company, my first foray into entrepreneurship, but been around it a lot throughout my journey with the university system. So it was honestly, it was a matter of when COVID started and I was at home, working from home for the first time, and really had a little bit more time and space to think about what a company would look like, what it would take to really leave and start up a company, and using that little bit of extra time that I had during COVID to actually start researching it and putting the pieces together in place to stand up a company. And it was just about a year ago today that I decided that I was going to try to make a go of it, and went in and left my job, and we stood up the website November 1st. So it's been just about a year now of being in business.
Well, first of all, congratulations for taking a step in the direction where most people stay away from. They get too relaxed in that system, whether it's working for someone else or otherwise. But you took the brave step to actually do the research, see if it's a viable product, viable service you're going to provide, and actually took the leap to create it. What has the journey in the last year been like so far for you, Amy?
Yeah, it's been quite a roller coaster, to tell you the truth. It's never easy starting a new company. And when you go from an organization that has thousands and thousands of employees to all of a sudden you're it with just a couple other people and people on contract, you really are in the position of doing all of the things that need to be done every single day and trying to just constantly prioritize what it is that you have to do. What can you have somebody else do? Do you have the right people doing the right things? That's always, I think, the journey in starting any new company, is figuring out what to do next and how to prioritize when everything needs to be done every day. And I wouldn't say that I have that right yet, but it is just a scramble. And as soon as you realize you're not doing something, and you should be, that becomes the next most important thing. And everything has to be done right away. And that's what you're doing. And you do that for a while. And then you realize, oh, we're not paying attention over here. And then you have to go over there and pay attention to it. It takes a long time before you sort of get the foundation under your feet of feeling like you're doing all of the fundamentals that you need to be doing to have the business running on a day-to-day basis. When you start a new company, nobody's going to do anything for you.
No.
On you, right? Even if you hire an agency to
Yeah.
do a certain thing for you and you sort of ignore it for a while, you have to come back in and push and make sure that the right things are happening and make sure that they're focused on the right things. And you're responsible for changing direction if you're not. It's really that nobody's doing anything for you. You have to do everything yourself
That's what I
to
think.
really get it launched and up and going. There's just no substitute for that.
Yeah, absolutely. What gave you the courage, Amy, to start this business? I'll tell you why. I know it was in during uncertain circumstances, unfavorable circumstances, COVID, pandemic. but you had the bravery, the courage to come up with a concept and actually launch it. What gave you the courage?
It's a good question. I think, you hit on something earlier already, which is when you are working for a large organization and you're with them for a very long time, the tendency really is to stay there,
Mm.
and to be complacent in that role and to continue on in what you're doing. I was very much on that path. I was with CSU for 16 years. I started out as legal counsel, and then I became chief operating officer, and then I became vice chancellor. And the easiest thing to do would be to just stay there and eventually retire from there. And I heard a quote in my last year of working there that said, "Don't be afraid of failure, be afraid of succeeding at something that doesn't matter to you." And I thought, that's really where I am right now in my journey, is I am succeeding in this role. And I've been here for a very long time. It would be very easy to stay. But it really started creeping up on me that that job is not aligned with who I am. I'm showing up every day for someone else's mission, for someone else's
Mm.
priorities, and where am I in all of this? And yeah, it was a drastic move to go away from that and come all the way down to basically company of one and starting my own thing. But succeed or fail here, at least it is me. At least it is what I want to do, and it aligns with my vision and my own values, rather than showing up to work every day supporting somebody else's legacy and somebody else's values, which was the easy thing to do. So I think it was that sort of notion of, if I don't leave now, I'm going to retire from here. And that's going to be my whole career. So maybe, COVID happening, giving me this space to be at home for the first time, the ability to start talking to people, putting ideas together. I thought maybe this is my only chance to really do that. And COVID forced a lot of people into an innovation mindset. It forced a lot of people into thinking about doing things in new ways, me included. And I think that it really opened up that window. I don't know that I would have been brave enough to do it or taken the chance to do it, to your question, had COVID not happened. Kind of opened that time and space for me to actually explore it and say, maybe this means something. Maybe now is my time to actually step away and do this. It helped that I have a partner who is an investor in heritage Italian businesses. He had not invested in something like this, something like beauty and whatnot, but he invests in Italian businesses. He's Italian by heritage.
Yeah.
And so I had the idea of bringing in these luxury Italian beauty brands and beauty products that are very unknown in the US. So I went to him, and together we really started working on it and started working with the Italians, who were also home because of COVID. And at that time, Italy was impacted very heavily by COVID. They were home, their stores were closed. And so they also were open to talking with us. They also were in this innovative mindset, and thinking about new markets and new entrepreneurial ideas, maybe in a way that they wouldn't have been there either, but for COVID.
Right.
So it all just worked together, because people were home and we were able to meet by Zoom. And we were able to explore innovative ideas that, had we not had COVID, I don't know that any of it would have happened.
Well, listen, all our listeners here at the Business Success Show, Amy is saying, look, if you do not take charge of your own life, you end up living someone else's life, building someone else's dreams. And so you've got to get clear on what your values are, what you stand for. What's the vision for you in the future? What is it you do not want to regret in years to come? Amy took the bravery, the courage to set something up. And during the same period, some people have been lazying in front of Netflix, movies, and getting fat, while other people have been creating and improving their business and looking for alternatives and liaising with partners around the world. So I hope what she's saying is inspiring to you, because it's certainly inspiring to me as an entrepreneur for the last 21 years. Anyone who has the courage to start a business, I say, well done. Well done. Now, Amy, over to you. What is the concept behind Mozzafiato? What is the idea? I know you're dealing with Italian heritage brands and products. And is it a platform you have, a website you have? What's the whole concept? How do you make money?
Yes, so right now we are purely on e-commerce. And had we started Matsufiato maybe in different times and it wasn't COVID, we might have started with bricks and mortar retail stores. But because of when we started, we decided to go purely on e-commerce. We are buying directly from these heritage Italian brands throughout Italy. We're buying their inventory, we're shipping it into the US, where we have a warehouse facility here, and we're fulfilling orders through Mozzafiato.com on our e-commerce site. The sort of big picture idea of part of this is born from the US beauty industry is really dominated by these giants like Sephora and Ulta and Target. When you go into these stores, they're super crowded. They have a million brands and products. A lot of it is really driven by a new trend, by celebrity, by influencers. And I just over time am weary of that. I'm not personally so influenced. I don't need all these celebrity lines of beauty products and brand new things all the time. When I've been fortunate to travel to Europe and specifically travel to Italy, and I encounter these companies that have been in business, some of them for centuries. Yeah. We have products that have been 400 years in the making, run by generations of families who have perfected their craft and passed it down over time. It's just such a different experience. It's such a more meaningful experience when you buy their fragrance, when you buy their product and you connect with that place and that story and those ingredients, than what so much of the American beauty experience is of celebrity driven stuff on these crowded shelves in Sephora. So I wanted to create a new concept of the sort of all Italian type multi-brand retail experience where you come in and you know that you're getting the authentic goods from heritage places and families that have, passed down their craft from generations, and their ingredients really speak from the local area, where they've been for so long, and just bring this authenticity to the entire experience of where we're buying our beauty products, sort of the counter to the Sephora and Ulta culture that we have in the US. So that was my original idea. Of course, we're working with 20 different Italian brands who are all very different and really special. But, it's hard to compete against the Amazons and Sephoras of the world who are just giants and have been at it for so long. So while we think we have the best products in the world, it really is about a fight for visibility. So people know that we're here, that they visit the website, that they try the products, and then become customers for us.
Thank you for that great answer. Thank you, Amy. Your customers, are they international or are they mostly US based?
They're mostly US based. And also what's interesting about our customers is they are 50% men and 50% women. Wow. So it's been a wonderful surprise to us that half of our customers are men, because we do sell men's grooming products, the shaving, cologne, bath and body, even toothpaste, and everything that men need. And we're finding that men actually really like the Italian grooming products. They like the Italian culture and being able to shop for all those things in one place, because there aren't a lot of stores for men to buy all of their grooming needs in one place. So yes, our customers are men and women, all primarily in the US.
Awesome. Awesome. That's good for you. Well done. What would you say in the last year or so has been the biggest challenge for you in your new fledgling business? I mean, the challenge that makes you think, oh my word, why did I start this? I mean, that challenge is like, why did I start this? Because as an entrepreneur, it's a roller coaster. It is a roller coaster, and every day is not the same. there's changes. There, like you said, you're wearing different hats: the finance hat, the marketing hat, the social media hat, the customer service hat, the leadership hat, finding talent, finding suppliers, all these kind of things that you are wearing. What's been the biggest challenge that has made you think, huh, should I have done this? Should I have just stayed quietly where I was getting paid a nice income, it's a nice salary every single year, and I didn't have to worry about all these facets of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this role, not only do you have to do everything, but you really rise and fall on sales. And you look at sales every single day. And on e-commerce, there's no hiding from the numbers. You know how many people were on your site, how many people added to their cart, how many people bought, how many returning customers there are. So it really is a roller coaster that, you sort of, in my mood and my feeling, it sort of rises and falls every day on how the business is doing, and really learning to step back and say, you can't put too much stock in a really good or really bad day. Level it out, look at it on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, what's your trajectory, which direction you're going, and to not panic if you fall off in one particular area or something you've invested in doesn't work. You
Right.
learn from that, you invest in something else. But I think that, it is the day-to-day sales and visits and numbers and metrics that you see every day that in a normal job, say working at a university or whatnot, you never see that level of granular data of what exactly is happening in your job every single day. That's really something to get used to, and it can really affect your confidence on a day-to-day basis, depending on what's going on. It is such a challenge in the digital space to get people to not just find you, but have enough confidence in you to make that first purchase. They have to see you so many times before they feel confident that they can come in and actually make a purchase. And when you're starting from scratch with a name that nobody's ever heard of, it's a daily fight to get out there and to get as many different eyeballs on your company as possible. And that's really difficult in this space.
You said it very well there, Amy. My good friend Blair Singer says sales equals income. In other words, sales equals revenue. No sales, no income, no revenue. No sales, no customers. No sales, no money coming in. And sooner or later, you have to shut shop and do something else. So I'm so glad you said that. When I run my boot camps and we teach sales, we say, look, people, you have to sell. You can't run away from it. Learn how to sell, learn how to market, bring customers in, because it's so essential. I've met so many people who've come up with great product ideas, great service ideas, and even one particular company, 3 directors, all good at the technology. And I asked them, who's doing the marketing? Who's doing the sales? Oh, we haven't started that yet. Well, you won't be in business for long if you're just hoping that someone's going to buy your product. So I'm so glad you said that. So our listeners here, if you're listening in, sales is the lifeblood of business. If you can't sell, learn to sell. Like Amy said, she's watching the numbers every day. You can't run away from it. The dashboard, the numbers, how many people visited, how many people stayed, how many people left, actually put something in the checkout basket and didn't buy. All these things at a granular level. You don't get that as a busy executive where you can call HR or you can call the finance. Oh, my computer's not working. Let me call IT. No, it's all down to you. I am so glad you're keeping it so real, and the reality is what it is. So, Amy, thank you, thank you, thank you. My next question. Yeah, go ahead. You're going to say something?
No. Thank you. I mean, you're absolutely right. Nothing happens unless you're selling. And it's, the saying I think goes that sales are vanity, profit is sanity. So it's sales, but it's also your expenses. It's everything to make sure that it's a go. And you're right. If that's not working, nothing's working.
Yeah, I'm going to add one more to that for you, which I love what you just said there. Sales is vanity. It makes you look good, but
Yeah.
profit is sanity. And guess what? Profit is just a number at a given point in your financial statements. But cash flow is reality.
Right.
Cash flow is reality. So
Yeah.
make sure you jot that down if you need to. But remember, sales will allow you to take care of those expenses and have cash flow coming in. Excellent,
Right.
excellent, excellent. I'm so proud of what you have done in the year you've been doing what you've been doing. How do you tell me run an international business remotely, virtually? You started virtually, and how do you do that? What's the mechanisms that comes about for you to be able to do that?
Yeah, I think, again, going back to COVID, I think COVID made a lot of people very comfortable doing business by Zoom when maybe
Mhm.
they wouldn't have been able to do it by Zoom before, specifically with the Italian companies that we work in, because normally they would not do deals with you unless you're sitting with them over a late night dinner
That's true.
where they are in Italy, and you make that personal relationship because we weren't able to travel during COVID. We had to learn to really make those relationships and make friends and trust one another remotely and over Zoom. And they would ship me the product from Italy over to my house in Colorado. And I
Oh,
would
wow.
sit with the product and they would do product training with me over the Zoom so I could vet the products, decide what to buy, do all of that remotely. And then we work with our marketing team, our Facebook team, our Google team. Everybody's remote. So I think that it's a new way of doing things now. That said, I'm sitting in an office in Denver, and we've got a little small team of people here. I've got some interns who come in and they help us with creative ideas around social. And for that, there's really no substitute. We like being in person. We like sitting around the table together, brainstorming, getting creative. So I'm somebody who really needs to have both. I can't do it completely remotely.
Yeah.
Zoom and whatnot really enables a lot of that, but I love having some in-person creativity here in the office as well.
Awesome. Well, good for you. I mean, you've managed to. And are you using mostly Zoom for your face-to-face type communications with your partners around the world, or are you using other systems to make sure you work very well remotely? Obviously, you've worked with big institutions in academics, but it's a different environment now. And so, what are there any specific tools outside of Zoom that you use to make running your business much easier?
When we first started, to be honest, we were using Google Meet, we were using Teams, we were using Zoom, we were using all of those things. And over time, Zoom has really taken over, especially internationally with our partners in Europe and other places as the easiest platform to use.
Mm.
So we're on Zoom a lot. And now that we all have that app, the calendaring app, where people can go on and just get on your calendar,
Yeah.
the Calendly app, that's been very helpful as well, especially because everybody's on different time zones. So rather than having all the back and forth of when we're going to meet, we just offer up on the app when we're available and people plug themselves into it. So that's really cut down on a lot of email traffic as well. So all these technological improvements really help being able to do business when everybody's on a different time zone.
Calendly is amazing, isn't it? The
Mm-hmm.
time it saves in going backwards and forwards via email, block it in. You've got a Zoom. Let's go. Save so much productivity time. I love Calendly as well.
I actually just put it up on our website on Mozzafiato.com so customers can come in and book a time with me if they have questions about products.
Great idea.
Because people were emailing or they were calling and it was hard to schedule a time. So we just say, I'm available all these times. They can go in there if they want to say, I want to buy a fragrance for my mother and this is what she likes. And we just talk through it, or they have a question on skincare. So it's now actually on our website. So customers, anybody out there can just go on and get 30 minutes with me if they have a question about a product or they need a gift recommendation or anything like that. So it's really easing so much traffic and scheduling of
Mm.
people being able to just go on and book the time. So that's been a big improvement.
And this is a great point that Amy raises, that make it easy for your clients or prospects to be able to buy from you. Make it easy for
Yes.
them to be able to communicate instantly with you. Because if they're not doing that with you and they can't get their answers, there is competition. They'll go elsewhere. I love that, Amy. I love
Yeah,
that.
100%, especially because a lot of the products that we sell are fragrances and things that you might not have confidence in buying remotely. So because of that, we say, we accept all of our returns. We pay for shipping on returns. Like I said, I'll do personal consultations, anything that we can think of, just exactly what you said, to ease all of those motions into a sale. If people are worried about, well, it'll be a hassle to return it, or it'll be expensive, or I'm not sure, we try to constantly remove all of those barriers, right, that would stand in the way of a sale. So you're right, constantly thinking what's going to stop a customer from making that sale, and then how do we solve for that in their journey.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, it's a great thing to do. Tell me, Mozzafiato, the focus is on beauty brands. Is that right?
Yes.
Beauty, is it health, skincare and beauty?
Beauty and fragrance.
Okay.
Yeah. And men's. So a lot of skincare, bath and body, fragrance, all of those types of things. Yeah.
Very, very nice. What made you decide, you know, we're in, I can just imagine you're at home, it's during COVID, can't go to work, got time on your hands, you're dreaming of your entrepreneurial future. Why beauty? Is it because you had a background outside of your main job, or is it something of interest or something you was passionate about? Why beauty and skincare?
I've always been interested in it my whole life. And I think during my 20-year career, I had the chance to travel to a lot of different countries, like 35 different countries. And it became a hobby of mine whenever I was in a different country to find the locally sourced products, to
Wow.
find what they were creating there in terms of beauty, whether it's masks or skincare or fragrance, and just bring it home with me, and try it out at home, because it was always drawn from local ingredients. It always had that local flavor in it. And I
Mm,
just loved finding those things and bringing them home. And they were always just so much more special than anything that was on the shelf, at the big box beauty stores. And I had the chance to go to Italy several times, and they just, I think, make the best products in the world. I really do. It's just generation over generation over generation dedication to their craft that they
yeah.
pass down, and dedication to their local ingredients. And whenever I brought home something from Italy, I just always thought, there's nothing like this here in the US. There's just nothing this special that we can buy here. And I wanted to bring that to people in the US, that really special feeling of, a bottle that was created by the monks 300 years ago, and have these amazing stories. Not every product is like that, but every product has a story, and every product has that style to it that
Mm,
they bring in Italy. Every product has that high performance and that quality. And I just think it's so special. It's a way for people to really treat themselves and to have something beautiful on their shelf that's affordable and connects them into something really beautiful and authentic.
very,
So it's just the world that I wanted to create and that I wanted to be a part of. I wanted to work with these people in Italy who are making amazing things. I wanted to support them and to be able to tell their story in the US and expose what they do to new audiences, and really just bring the joy and pleasure of these products to people here.
that's amazing. Great, great reason why. You know, often I say to those who are starting their business or thinking of starting a business, do something that you have interest in, that you have interest in anyway. And, you know, you turned your hobby into a business. Fantastic. You know, there's nothing worse than coming up with an idea you know nothing about, you have no passion for, there's no purpose behind it. Because in my experience and experience of training hundreds of thousands of people around the world, what happens is when the going gets tough, you want to run away. But if you're obsessed with it, you are passionate about it, there is a purpose behind it, you will keep going. It will still drive you. So it's great what you've done. Hey, by the way, Amy, do you know what I've been to Italy many times. You know what I love about Italy? And I'm sure you
Um,
picked it up. You know, I just love their passion. You know, I'm sure even over Zoom when they're training you on these products, it's like, no, 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 it's like they bring it all to life, and it's
yeah.
so much passion in just even a little thing. It becomes heart, and I love Italy. We've got a lot of Italian clients, and I just love the way they express, the way they express, and they have pride in what they do and what they have. Right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they pass it down generation over generation. I mean, it's amazing how long some of these families have been in business working on these brands. And they
Yeah.
create new ideas, but they they maintain the way that their grandparents did it. They maintain a lot of the craftsmanship all the way through. And yeah, it's that family passion and dedication that I think is so special. And as you know, since you know Italy, I mean, you also see it in their wine, you see it in their
Mm.
autos, you see it in their art and their cars. I mean,
Absolutely.
it
Cars.
really is a way of life, right? The craftsmanship and that joy and that creativity and that beauty, and the beauty space is no different. You
It's a
know, it's very similar to a lot of these other crafts and areas that they have in Italy. And I'm with you. I just love that about them.
It's fantastic. Very, very good. I've got one more question for you, which is this. I want you to give us a vision of Mozzafiato in the next 3 or 5, next 3 to 5 years. Because as you're doing what you're doing in the beauty and skincare space, these products, some are hundreds of years old, and you're bringing it to the marketplace. What's your vision in terms of where the company's going to be, or what do you see as market share, or what do you see happening, or would like to
Yeah,
happen?
sure. Sure. So, I definitely want Matsufiato to be a household name. I want it to be the place where people go to not just buy their own beauty and grooming products, but to buy gifts for others.
Hmm.
We bundle together products so you can test different brands and products. We have home fragrances, which are great gifts for people. So we want to be the place where you come for your own products, where you come to buy gifts for other people, and that Italian beauty really starts to take a stronghold in the American culture, and that people seek out specifically Italian heritage beauty. And that's what they want to have on their shelves. So we will continue to expand our brands and look for and find additional high quality Italian brands to bring into the collection. So as we hopefully gain market share in the US, we're bringing on more brands as well. And then we start branching out into perhaps physical retail stores, or having our products and our bundles on the shelves in department stores and in other boutique retail stores. And then we start branching out outside of the US as well. So expanding geographically, expanding our collection, and expanding our market share.
Beautiful. I love that. Start small, expand globally in the future. Great.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, Fiato is here. He's here to stay and going global at some point in the future. For those who want to connect with you, want to make sure, also, obviously, the website as well. I want you to explain how best to connect with you or get to the website. What would be the best thing?
Absolutely. Visit us at Mozzafiato.com. And then you can find me very easily on LinkedIn. Our social handles are I am Matsufiato. So you can find us on Instagram, find us on Facebook. Those are all of the different ways to connect with us. And like I said, if you want to talk with me personally, click on the Calendly link on the website at Mozzafiato.com, and we can have a chat just like this.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. For those who are listening in, Mozzafiato is spelt, and I'm going to do it a European way, then I'll do it a US way. M for mother, O for Oscar, Z zebra, Alpha, Freddy, Indigo, Alpha, Tango, Oscar.com, Mozzafiato.com. So Americans will say Mozzafiato.com. So we have international listeners. We have people from over 30 countries around the world that listen in. So Amy, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your journey from academia to entrepreneurialism to inspire our audience. Congratulations on the launch of your new business. I'm wishing you great, great, great success in what you're doing. Change the world with what you're doing, you and your partners around the world. I think it's really, really, really a good cause you're doing. And for those who are listening in, thank you for tuning in. Remember to connect with Amy Parsons. Go to mozzafiato.com, check out the products, buy some gifts for yourself, buy some gifts for friends. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got Christmas coming up. This is the time. So I'm going to check it out myself as well. Amy, until we speak again, thank you. Much love. God bless you and continue doing what you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Speak to you soon. Thank you.